Welcome back, piggies, to another episode of the Pigskin Pals podcast with your hosts, Dane and AJ. Today, we got a fun little episode, first ever mailbag episode. We got a few questions from the fans that we're going to answer. A little start-sit action, something like that. We'll see how it goes. As well as we got a little fun Cowboys versus Packers matchup preview because that's our teams, baby. Oh, I wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
What is this? I've been bamboozled. This is ridiculous.
How many
The number one
sacks
thing I want
is
to
Parson
see
gonna
is
have?
no Parson sacks. None. Not one. That's going to happen. But that's what we got in store today. Let's get stuck right into it. All right. Let's get into the mailbag segment. First question comes from a very special guest we got here. My wife, Emma. Emma, what's your question?
Live mailbag.
Live mailbag.
Do I take DK out and put Cam in finally? He's been on my bench for the last 3 weeks.
Okay, so the question is, do I play Cam Scatabo or DK Metcalf in the flex? Dane, I'll have you start.
I would be playing Cam Scatabo just purely out of matchup. DK going against the Vikings. That is a tough team. I would not want to play, but I guess if anyone has experience dominating the Vikings, it is Aaron Rodgers.
That's true.
So it is a little closer. And Cam is playing who?
Chargers.
Who is also I feel like both of them have pretty tough. You know what?
JK just put on a show against.
I'm switching this up.
Chargers.
I'm switching this up completely. I'm going DK Metcalf with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has familiarity with the Vikings. Yep. I think if there is anyone that can really process Brian Flores' defense, it would be him. He can kind of dissect that up, and I'm assuming they're going to be playing from behind and throwing the ball. I also assume the Chargers are going to be playing from behind and throwing the ball, and they have a rookie quarterback in. Yes, Cam can get some pass catching work, but they're going to be playing down from so much that he's not going to get that many rush attempts, I think. So
I mean, I see where you're coming from. You're going DK. I myself am going Cam Scatabo. I have this exact scenario in my Dynasty League, basically Cam or DK, and I'm going Cam not strictly, but like a lot of it on matchup. We just saw what the Vikings defense can do. We've seen it the first couple weeks that they've been really, really stingy. Just in general, Brian Flores has been cooking. Whereas J.K. Dobbins just put up an absolute masterclass, not really masterclass, but he had a good week, into the Chargers. And that's kind of been where they've been weaker, is on the ground. And I think with Jackson Dart starting, they'll probably rely a little bit more on Cam. And with Tyrone Tracy being out, that is also a nice little thing, because I don't see Devin Singletary eating too many touches. So I would go Cam. Dane would go DK. She's a Steelers fan. I got a feeling I know where she's going to go.
It would be fun to really put our money where our mouth is. If we both had Hampton in our DFS lineup, since we both have him, we take him out. I put DK in. You put Cam in.
I put Scat in. Yeah, that'd be sick. I'm not going to do that because I think I want to have high scores in our DFS, but
definitely we have to beat our viewers. You can join our DFS game in the link below. We do a competition every single week for the Thursday through Monday game, so you can play anyone you want. You just have to get those submissions in earlier in the week. Our second question right now comes in from another viewer. He says, I need some advice. I have a question if I should be starting Jameson Williams, Breece Hall, Travis Etienne, or Trey Tucker for my flex position and non-flex. So 2 spots. I'm in a PPR league with standard scoring. That doesn't make sense. Thanks for your help. I'm assuming he means 4
like a normal
passing.
Yeah, just like normal PPR league. Yeah, just like your standard PPR league. I think there's one obvious start of the 4 there. I think Breece should be in the lineup for sure. Over the rest of those guys, I think that's not a question. The other 3, I'm like not particularly thrilled about any of them. I'd say honestly, I'm probably least thrilled about Jameson Williams. Bad matchup with Cleveland, hasn't gotten a whole lot of work. ETN is probably where I land just because I can't fathom putting Trey Tucker in my lineup out of choice and not necessity. You can't go chasing the 40-point week or whatever he had last week. So I think I'd go Breece and ETN. ETN's guaranteed touches as opposed to those other 2 guys who they could go for 0 for 0. So I'd say Breece and ETN.
I would definitely do Breece. I agree with that. The Niners did just get hampered on their defensive line, so I do like the ETN play too. I was just looking. Unfortunately, the Lions play at noon. the Jags play at 3, so I was going to suggest if
Mm,
play the matchup,
do a
see how
boomer
your
bust
noon
play.
games go and Thursday night goes. If you need a big spike, I would put JMO in. If you need something safe, I would put ETN in. I would side same as you. I'm going to play ETN and Brees Hall. Yes, it's PPR, and we're suggesting running backs over the wide receivers, but I think both those running backs.
Those guys are not PPR receivers.
Yeah, those are not PPR receivers, and your running backs do catch passes, so I don't think you have
I would
anything
put
to
a
really...
lot of money on both of those running backs having more catches than both of those receivers. Like, I would put so much money on it.
Maybe
It's just-
one of those running backs having more catches
Yeah,
both of those
a
receivers
lot, but-
combined.
yeah, honestly, yeah, that might be true. So yeah, I think we made the right call there. I think it just makes the most sense. It's the most probably gonna get the most consistent results there with consistent touches.
Okay, and for the last question, also, if you do have any questions, feel free to put them down in the comments, and we would be happy to make this a recurring thing, and we would definitely try and put this out earlier in the week to give you ample time to adjust your lineups wherever, and you get a cool shout out. This
True.
person coming from my dad,
Nice.
he's asked, he's in a league, should I continue holding on to 3 quarterbacks, Matthew Stafford, Jaden Daniels, and Jackson Dart, or do I drop one of them and grab Romeo Doubs or like Calvin Ridley or like Chris Rodriguez? We don't know the
Okay.
full lineup, but basically right off the rip, he has Jaden Daniels. I would almost say you can drop 2 quarterbacks
Yeah.
and pick up multiple players just to build more depth in positions of need, because basically you're going to be playing Jaden Daniels every single week unless he's injured like last week or he's on bye.
Yeah. I mean, I would suspect that if you drop Jackson Dart and Matthew Stafford, like, they'll probably be there when you need them. And if they're not, there's going to be someone there that you could pick up. I don't think it would be too big of a deal. I would definitely let 2 of them go, especially if we get guarantee like Jaden Daniels is gone. Let him go. If you're going to keep one of them, I'd honestly just keep Stafford. He's been pretty hot to start the year, and I don't suspect that this offense is going to slow down at all. I mean, I don't know who's all out there, but the Dobbs and Ridley is probably who I'd target based off the people that were listed.
Yeah, I think Dobbs is, we've seen him be flexible in the past,
Yeah.
and
For sure.
Reed's out for a while. If Golden doesn't have a showing out this week, which we both kind of expect he will,
Mhm.
then it's probably going to be through Dobbs, Kraft, or maybe a little bit of Wicks too, who might
Yeah.
also be on the waivers.
Yeah, and I think there's only really, you can only go up as the Titans offense. They haven't really been super successful in general. They've had a couple really tough matchups, just like they've played against good defenses. So I expect that offense to get better. I expect Cam Ward to put more points, which means that the receivers will as well. As much as Io Manor has been like his go-to target in terms of like the red zone and scoring touchdowns, Calvin really still does hold the lion's share of the targets. So I think once the offense gets better, so will he.
I don't know what question you're on because there were no Titans involved in that.
Yeah, there was Calvin Ridley.
The Calvin Austin.
Well, that's some Calvin Ridley takes for you right there.
I would definitely be holding on to Calvin Ridley.
That's
We've
what I'm
seen
saying.
rookie quarterbacks have late bloomings, and their wide receivers benefit from that, especially the wide receiver 1.
Yep.
All right, hopping into our next topic for this shorter episode is going to be the Packers versus the Cowboys game.
Yeah.
Obviously, I am a Packers fan. Look at this nice jersey that Jerry Jones just gifted to me. And
I'm a Badgers fan. No. I am the Cowboys fan. All I want to see this game, I don't expect them to win, especially with CD out. They're not going to have that explosiveness on offense. I just want to see it be close. Make it a close game. I want to see a little bit of improvement on the defensive side. And I really just want Dak to not get sacked by Mike Parsons. I think that would be ideal. I don't want him to have like an incredible game. Like I don't want that to be the case. And last thing, I really want Pickens to show that he can be the alpha while CD's out. Because we paid him a reasonable amount of money. He's going to want that true wide receiver 1 money when he goes wherever he goes after this. And this is a good time to show that he can do that.
I would also like to see that, just because I have quite a bit of Pickens shares in fantasy this year. I don't necessarily see it happening in this game. We both played Ferguson in our DFS lineups. I think it's going to be feeding over the middle, if anywhere. To me, it feels like a really easy way to stop Pickens this game. Yeah, our cornerbacks aren't the best, but then you just shadow McKinney over George Pickens, and I feel like he's going to be seeing a lot of double teams and just kind of shutting that down. You guys are going to have to start with scoring fast and maybe on the ground, just bleeding the timeout and holding your possessions a lot and giving your defense some time to kind of breathe. So the over-under is 47.5. Kind of feels a little high. I don't know.
No, because they're probably
right.
putting 35 for the Packers. Like they're erring on the side of like Packers going to have a lot of points.
Yeah, I think it's the Packers are favored by 7, so we have a 27 point total, team implied point total, and the Cowboys have 20. Do you think the Cowboys will cover the spread of 7? How much faith do you have in your boys?
No, I don't think they will. I would like them to keep it close, but I just think the Packers are too. And I know this is weird coming off of a kind of rough game for them, but they're too polished of a team right now, it feels like, to go against the most unpolished team and not crush. So
I will say I think it's a good line. Like, I feel like it's going to be 6 maybe. Like, it could be closer than what we're expecting. What I need to see out of the Packers is more cohesiveness out of our offensive line. We looked abysmal against the Browns. We had a couple injuries. We were moving players around randomly too. We had our kind of backup right tackle at left guard for some reason. He didn't look comfortable there. I don't know if Zach Tom's going to play. Hopefully he does, and that kind of shores up the right side. Not. All right. Well, then just have a solidified line going into and stick with it. Don't move them around. And the other thing I want to see is a golden breakout. Would love to see him.
This is the week.
Kind of get active.
If Luther Burden had a breakout last week, like I'm pretty confident that Golden can have a breakout this week.
Well, the Packers aren't going to be doing flea flickers. You don't have to worry about that, at least.
That's true. That was ridiculous.
And the last thing I want to see is the complete opposite of you. I do want to see Parsons sack.
Yeah. I think that's the general
Give him a little hug.
With most of the world is like they want to see Micah go crazy. I think Cowboys fans are the only people that don't want that.
Do you think he gets 2 tackles for losses, including sacks?
Tackles for losses? He'll probably get. I'll say he'll get 2. I have this weird feeling that we're gonna really put a lot of focus on not letting Micah sack Dak. That all the other guys are gonna eat
because it's gonna be a Gary week.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
That is kind of that's what happened last week. It felt like one of my other buddies texted me. He's like, just a reminder, like with that loss, just trying to dig it into me. Like, you paid like Micah $2.7 million and he had 0 tackles or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but Gary had 2 sacks and probably wouldn't have gotten that if Micah wasn't on the field. So
yeah,
I still feel
attention.
Very good about that. What are you going to be doing for the game? What are you going to have some
isolated, sitting on the couch, probably having a drink because I'll need it, and then not looking at my phone at all because I know I'll be getting text messages. I'm going to preface, I think, anywhere I have a group chat, be like, hey guys, I know the Cowboys are going to lose this game. You don't have to tell me during the game that they're losing. I'm going to put that everywhere just so I don't get those texts. That's my plan.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Sunday Night Football. It's going to have all the attention.
It'll be fun.
On that game.
Good storylines. I hope it's a good game and not a letdown, just for the narrative sake of it. I think it'll be fun. We shall see.
I kind of do wish CD was playing, that he didn't get hurt. It would have been a lot more interesting. I think that injury really,
for sure,
hampers
it really takes down
the Cowboys.
Our offense.
And then also you guys have had offensive line injuries too. Both of our lines could just be more of a defensive battle than we're expecting.
Yeah, that's not a good battle that I want to be in, though, because I don't think I like your defense is obviously so much better than the Cowboys. But who knows? Maybe the changes they make this week, Jadeveon plays. Hopefully, Deron Bland's back. Maybe just those little additions, maybe some switching things around. Maybe things are looking up. Who knows? It will be fun. We'll find out. I hope it's a good game. And maybe the Cowboys surprise me. That would be cool, too. That would be great.
Would not be cool. Let's go Packers. Comment down below who you think is going to be winning the game. And I guess we'll find out after this week. But thanks for tuning in. Sack that like button like it's Micah Parsons sacking Dak Prescott.
Yep, there it is. Love it. Peace out. See you later.